The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Here we go. Ready? Ready? And we got tight left. Even. 4 down. Even. Great 15. Great 15.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. His throw incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
In your face.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On the toss play, Howard. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go. Pac-Man. 180. Say. Hey, watch it.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving it.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
Mike's 50. Hey, watch the slant.
James Williams.
31. Tighten up.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to go for a big play now. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. 120!
Game situation, let's go.
What's that?
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat. Here's Jordan Berry now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 99 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
On the ball.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Eagles get their 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
2nd and 6. And the catch good. It's Eifert. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. He can run for it, and he will. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. On 1st down, it's Hines. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 40s. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Colts 20.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Howard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now he's forced out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, break.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 40. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Come on.
They'll run on first down. Sanders. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
3 down, 3 down. 45, 45.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Let's go, let's go.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Under 10, under 10.
On the ball. Hit it.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.